everybody, it's me, Jessica, and this is my daughter Amelia. She's 9. Since we are all stuck together at home, I thought this is a great time to teach her how to cook. So today we are going to make 3-ingredient yogurt marinated chicken. I will post the recipe in the comments below. But what we're going to do first, we have already set up our mise en place right here. Amelia, what is the mise en place?
It is all your stuff put together so that you don't have to go looking for your ingredients while you're having to cook.
Yeah, mise en place is a French term that kind of just means everything in its place. So you gather all of your ingredients that you need for whatever you're making, you get them out, you make sure you have enough of them, and that way you find all of your utensils, all your mixing bowls, your knives, everything. And that way, once you've gotten started, you don't have to leave what you're doing to go find what you need. Because sometimes, today we won't have this problem, but sometimes once you've started, if you walk away, you're going to ruin whatever dish you're making. Whether it gets burned or dried out or it falls, I don't know, different things can happen depending on what recipe you're doing. Right now, we're just going to make a marinade for this chicken. Then we're going to let it sit in the marinade for 30 minutes, and then we're going to grill it up. So to start, we need a cup of plain yogurt. So Amelia, why don't you measure that into the measuring cup and plop it in this bowl right here. We're using plain Greek yogurt, and we're using 2%. You can really use whatever kind of yogurt you want. Whatever you got on hand. I actually chose this recipe today because we had some Greek yogurt we needed to use up before it goes bad. And so I just looked for recipes you can make using Greek yogurt, ways to use all the Greek yogurt, because oftentimes we buy these things like Greek yogurt and they're not cheap, and we eat it, we use it a couple times, and then we forget about it in the refrigerator and it goes bad and we have to throw it away. Well, right now, especially right now, we don't want to be wasting any food because it's hard to get to the grocery store. So let's use everything we've got. You need a little help?
Yeah.
Measuring Greek yogurt, you want to use a dry measuring cup.
Oops.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, always wash your hands before you start cooking. We washed our hands before we started the video. But you want to use a dry measuring cup. This is a marinade, we're not baking. So we'll put about a cup. When you get your hands all messy like Amelia did, if you got kids watching, don't lick your fingers. Go wash your hands. Okay, Amelia, go rinse your hands off. So you want to use a dry measuring cup when you're measuring out yogurt. The dry measuring cup is the one that looks like this. Liquid measuring cup will probably be out of glass or plastic. It'll have a pour spout, and it'll have little hatch marks going up it to do your measurement. We're also going to add in 3 cloves of garlic, and I'm going to use my garlic press. If you don't have a garlic press, you can certainly just chop the garlic as fine as you can get it. I like my garlic press because I really don't like chopping garlic. I mean, the garlic press gets my hands stinky enough. And I always open mine back up and give it a second press just to make sure I got everything out of it. And we'll set that aside. We're going to add in 2 teaspoons of salt, which Amelia got our salt out for our mise en place, and it isn't open yet. And I know I haven't opened one, so I'm going to grab it.
Maybe Daddy took that one to the new house too.
Well, oh, there it is. We're actually in the process of moving to a new house, so half of my things are in another house. Here, go ahead and measure our salt and pour it in. We're using kosher salt. If you don't have kosher salt, just use regular table salt. Use whatever kind of salt you like. Here, let's see. Salt can be difficult to measure sometimes. It pours out too fast. So you got to be careful. And really, you shouldn't measure right over your mixing bowl because if you spill it, it goes in there. You can't get it back out. Now we're going to add in some black pepper. my husband took our black pepper to the new house, so we have some in this little pepper shaker. So just shake, give that about 5 or 6 shakes, Amelia. All right, let's give it a little more. You can kind of just eyeball the pepper, however much you think. And then we're going to add in a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. I'm going to let you do this one for real. I'm using a dry measuring cup for this lemon juice just because my liquid measuring cup has migrated to my new house and that's not where I am. But you would really want to use a liquid measuring cup. And like I said, it'd probably be made of plastic or glass, and it'll have measurements up the side that you can use to tell how much you're getting in there. That'd be more accurate for liquids. All right, go ahead and pour that in there. Looks good. Now we're just going to stir this up. You want to stir? You want me to stir?
I don't really care.
She doesn't really care. So we've got our chicken sitting over here. And for you kids watching at home, raw chicken has some bacteria on it that could make you sick. So anytime you're working with raw chicken, you want to make sure you wash your hands really good afterward. So we washed our hands before we started cooking, and we're probably going to accidentally touch this raw chicken, even though I've got tongs. So we'll wash our hands really good afterward too, because if I touch this raw chicken and then I put my hand in my mouth, it could make me really sick. The bacteria is called salmonella. Okay, so we're going to put this chicken in our Ziploc bag. Use the tongs, Amelia, and stick it in here. We've got chicken drumsticks because that's what we've got. But if you have any other type of chicken, use it. It could be boneless, skinless chicken breast or chicken thighs. It could be bone in. It could be skin on. Of course, skinless is going to be the most healthy because it's less fat. I'm sealing it up and we didn't put our marinade in yet. But it doesn't really matter. Just whatever you've got. I'm going to grab a rubber scraper. Our marinade was made with yogurt, so it's a little thicker than some other marinades made with oil. And this yogurt has lactic acid in it. So a lot of marinades are made with oil and then some sort of acid like vinegar or citrus juice. Well, we've got lactic acid in the yogurt, and then we've also got our acid with our lemon juice. And that acid is going to break down the connective tissues in the chicken and make it really nice and tender and juicy. So you've got your chicken in the bag, you pour your marinade in the bag, then you kind of squeeze the air out, seal it shut. And then, because this is such a thick marinade, we want to squish it. So we'll squish it all around, make sure it all gets coated in there. I'm going to squish it. And then I'm going to have Amelia put it in the refrigerator, and we'll let it sit in the marinade for 30 minutes. When we get it out, we're going to grill it. We want to always, go ahead Amelia, put it in the fridge. Whenever you're marinating chicken or any other kind of meat, you want to marinate it in the refrigerator so that you make sure that it stays cool enough. Bacteria grow really rapidly between the temperatures of 40 degrees and 140 degrees. So usually your refrigerator should be under 40 degrees. And so we want to keep it in the refrigerator until we're ready to heat it up past 140. Our chicken has been in the marinade for about 30 minutes, maybe a little bit longer. You can leave it in the marinade for up to a day, but at least 30 minutes is what you need. I have heated up my gas grill and I've scraped the grates off so that the remnants of the last time we grilled are all gone. If you have a gas grill, go ahead and do it on the gas grill. If you don't have a grill, you can certainly do this in the oven or on the stovetop on a grill pan. But I like cooking with the grill when it's hot outside, and it is in the 80s right now. So what we're going to do, we have our bag of chicken. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for 30 minutes in the marinade. I'm just going to use my tongs and carefully, because this grill is hot, I'm going to transfer the chicken right onto the grill grate.
Wow, that chicken looks good. And it's raw.
Is raw chicken. Like I said before, you want to be careful with raw chicken because It's got salmonella bacteria in it, and that can make you sick. So you want to wash your hands if you touch it. And I got some of the marinade on my hand, which means I probably got some raw chicken on my hand. So we're going to let these sit for a few minutes, just like that, and then we'll flip them over. Okay, so we've been cooking this chicken for probably about 5 minutes, and we're going to go ahead and flip it over using our tongs. And again, this is really hot in here in this grill, so you want to be very careful. When you flip it, you want to see these nice grill marks and this golden brown color. That's what you're looking for. If your chicken's kind of sticking like this one is, then it's probably not ready to flip. But since we flipped all the rest of them, I'm going to go ahead and force this one. But when they're ready to flip, they should come off pretty easy. We lost some skin on that piece, and that's okay. And we'll let this cook for about 5 more minutes, and then we're going to take its temperature. And chicken needs to reach 165 degrees Fahrenheit to be safe to eat. All right, so the chicken's been cooking for a while on the other side, probably about 7 minutes. And now we're going to check the temperature, and I'm going to show you how we do that. You pick your chicken up with your tongs, then you take your thermometer. We're going to stick it in this way, so we don't want to hit the bone. I'm going to stick it in pretty good. Well, I think I hit the bone. Stick it in, pretty far in there. And then we're just going to watch the thermometer climb up, see if it reaches 165 degrees. And we are at 165 degrees.